Imagine walking into your best friend's baby shower, smiling, holding a gift, only to see your own husband standing beside her, with his hand on her pregnant belly. In that moment, your whole life breaks, because the baby she's carrying belongs to your husband. Before we dig deep into this shocking story, kindly hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on your notification bell so you never miss real stories that reveal the darkest truths and biggest betrayals. Trust me, this one will leave you speechless. Sarah pushed open the door to Lisa's house with a big smile and a gift bag in her hand. The room was full of pink and blue balloons and happy friends laughing loudly. She had come early to help her best friend Lisa celebrate the new baby. But then her eyes landed on the big banner that said, "Welcome baby boy from Lisa and John." Her legs went weak. John. The man standing next to Lisa with his hand on her big belly was her own husband. He looked up and his face turned white like paper. Sarah's heart beat so fast she thought it would burst out of her chest. How could this be happening right here in front of everyone? She wanted to run, but her feet would not move. Lisa saw her and waved like nothing was wrong. "Sarah, come in. I saved you a seat next to me and the daddy." Sarah felt sick. She knew Lisa had been her friend for 10 years. They shared secrets, laughed at silly jokes, and cried over bad days. But now Lisa stood there glowing with Sarah's husband like it was normal. Sarah forced a smile and sat down, but inside her mind was screaming. She looked at John. He kept his eyes down and played with his phone. The room felt too hot. Everyone clapped when Lisa opened gifts, but Sarah could not clap. Her hands shook. She remembered last night when John said he had to work late again. Was this the work? All those nights he came home smelling of perfume she thought was from the office. Now she knows. But why Lisa? And how long had they known? Sarah took deep breaths to stop from crying. The party went on with games and cake, but she felt like she was in a bad dream. She needed to know the truth, but she could not make a scene here. Not yet. Years ago, Sarah and John got married 5 years back in a small church with flowers everywhere. Lisa was the maid of honor. She hugged Sarah tight and said, "You two are perfect together. I am so happy for you." Sarah believed her. They all hung out a lot after the wedding. Lisa came over for dinner and helped Sarah pick new curtains for the house. John liked Lisa's jokes, and they played cards together on weekends. Sarah never thought twice about it. Then one day Lisa called Sarah crying. She said her boyfriend left her, and she felt so alone. Sarah told John, "We have to help her. She is like my sister." John nodded and said, "Yes, she needs us." That was the start. Lisa started coming over more. She stayed late, and John drove her home sometimes. Sarah was busy with her job at the bank, so she did not notice the texts on John's phone or the way Lisa touched his arm when she laughed. One night Sarah came home early from work and found them in the kitchen. Lisa was close to John, and they stopped talking fast when she walked in. "Just helping with the dishes," Lisa said with a smile. Sarah laughed it off. But now at the baby shower, she remembered that night, and her stomach turned. Lisa knew John was married. She had been at the wedding. She had seen the rings. She had cried happy tears when they said "I do." Yet she still went behind Sarah's back. Sarah looked at Lisa's belly. The baby was due in 2 months. John was the father. Lisa had told everyone at the party, "John is my rock. He has been with me every step." Sarah wanted to stand up and shout, "He is my husband, you thief." But she held it in. The suspense was killing her. She needed to talk to Lisa alone. After the cake, Lisa said, "Sarah, can you help me in the back room with the extra gifts?" Sarah's heart raced. This was her chance. They went to the quiet back room. Lisa closed the door and turned to Sarah with tears in her eyes. "I know what you are thinking," she said softly, "but it is not what it looks like." Sarah laughed a hard laugh. "Not what it looks like. My husband is the father of your baby, Lisa. You knew he was mine. You were at our wedding. How could you do this to me?" Lisa sat down on the bed and rubbed her belly. "I loved him first, Sarah. Before you even met him. We dated in school, but he left me for college. When I saw him at your wedding, I felt the old spark. He told me he was unhappy with you. He said you did not understand him like I do." Sarah felt like someone punched her. "He told you that? And you believed him? You are my friend Lisa. Friends do not steal husbands. Lisa shook her head. I tried to stop it. I really did. But he came to me one night after you two fought. He said he needed me. We started seeing each other in secret. I hid it because I did not want to hurt you. But then I got pregnant, and I could not hide anymore. Sarah's eyes filled with tears. You hid it for 2 years? All those times I told you my marriage problems. You were the problem. You listened to me cry, and then you went to him. The emotional pain was deep. Sarah thought of all the nights she cooked for John and waited for him. All the plans they had for their own baby one day. Now Lisa had it. Lisa looked down. I know it is wrong, but the baby needs a father. John wants to be with me now. He is going to tell you tonight. Sarah could not breathe. This was too much. But then Lisa said something that made the room spin. And Sarah, there is one more thing. I knew you could not have kids. John told me about the doctor visits. That is why I let it happen. I thought I could give him what you could not. Sarah's world broke again. She had never told Lisa about the tests. Only John knew. The betrayal went deeper than she thought. Sarah left the back room with her head high, but inside she was shaking. She found John by the punch bowl. We need to talk now, she said quietly but hard. They stepped outside to the garden where no one could hear. The night air was cool, but Sarah felt hot with anger. How long, John? How long have you been lying to me? John looked at his shoes. It started with Sarah. Lisa was there when you were always at work. She listened. Then one thing led to another. I was going to end it, I swear. But then the baby came. Sarah slapped him hard across the face. You knew she was my friend. You made me look like a fool. All our friends are in there right now thinking you are a good man. John rubbed his cheek. I am sorry. I love you, Sarah, but Lisa makes me feel alive. She is having my son. I have to do right by him. Sarah cried now. The tears would not stop. What about me? What about our life? Just then Lisa came outside too. She had heard everything. Stop fighting, she said. The baby is kicking hard. John came to feel. John went to her and put his hand on her belly. Sarah watched them and felt like a stranger. Her phone buzzed in her pocket. It was a message from her doctor. She had forgotten about the test results from last week. The message said, Good news, Sarah. You are pregnant. 8 weeks along. Sarah stared at the phone. Pregnant? After all the doctor visits that said no. She looked at John and Lisa. They did not know. She put the phone away fast. This changed everything. She was carrying John's baby too, but she would not tell them yet. She needed time to think. Back inside, the party was ending. People left with goodbyes and hugs, but Sarah stayed. She helped clean up to get more time with Lisa. When they were alone again, Sarah asked, Why did you really do it, Lisa? You knew he was my husband from the first day. You helped plan our honeymoon. Tell me the real reason. Lisa sighed and sat down. Her face looked tired. Okay, I will tell you. It is not just love. 10 years ago, before you met John, the first was pregnant with his baby. I lost it in a car crash. John blamed me and left. I never told you because I did not want you to know he had a past with me. When I saw him again at your wedding, I wanted revenge. I wanted him back, and I wanted to hurt you for taking him. Sarah's mouth fell open. This was the twist she never saw coming. Revenge? All this time you acted like my friend, but you were planning to steal my life. Lisa nodded. Yes, I hid the affair because I wanted to wait until the baby was born. Then I planned to tell you everything and watch you break. But now you know too soon. Sarah felt cold inside. This was not just an affair. It was a long game of hate. She thought of all the times Lisa borrowed her clothes and stayed in their guest room. It was all fake. The emotional drama was too much. Sarah wanted to scream, but she smiled instead. Thank you for telling me, Lisa. Now I know who you really are. Sarah drove home alone that night. John stayed with Lisa. The house felt empty when she walked in. She sat on the bed and cried for hours. Then she remembered the pregnancy test on her phone. She went to the bathroom and took another one from the drawer. 2 lines. Positive. She was really pregnant. But the dark part came when she checked John's laptop. She had never done that before, but tonight she did. There were emails between John and Lisa. One email said, Sarah will never know. I told her I cannot have kids with her, so she will not suspect. We can raise our baby together. Another email from Lisa said, I know she is your wife, but I am better for you. I have proof of her secret too. Sarah froze. What secret? She searched more. There it was. Lisa had pictures of Sarah with another man from 2 years ago. It was a work trip and Sarah had been lonely. She kissed a man at a bar, but nothing more. John knew and he never said a word. He used it to feel less guilty about his own affair. The twist hit hard. Both of them had betrayed her. Sarah was not the only good one, but her kiss was one time. Their affair was 2 years and a baby. She felt angry and sad at the same time. She packed a bag and left the house. She drove to a hotel and thought about what to do next. The suspense was building. Would she tell John about her baby or keep it secret like they did? Sarah woke up the next morning with a plan. She called Lisa and said, I want to meet. Just us. No John. I forgive you. Lisa sounded surprised but agreed to meet at a small cafe. When they sat down, Sarah looked calm. I thought about it all night, she said. The baby needs 2 parents. I will step back if that is what you want. Lisa smiled big. Really, Sarah? You are the best friend ever. But then Sarah showed her the pregnancy test. I am pregnant too, Lisa. With John's baby. The doctor was wrong before. Now we both have his kids. Lisa's face went pale. No, that cannot be. He said you could not. Sarah leaned in close. And there's more. I know about your lost baby 10 years ago. I know you planned revenge. The baby you are carrying is not John's. I had a test done on your blood from the hospital records. John is not the father. It is your old boyfriend from school. The one who left you. I paid a nurse to check. Lisa gasped and held her belly. You are lying. Sarah shook her head. No, I have the paper right here. John has been raising a baby that is not his. You lied to him too. The room went quiet. Lisa started to cry. I did not know. I thought it was his. Sarah stood up. Now we are even. You took my husband. I took your lie. But I will keep my baby and raise it alone. Goodbye, Lisa. Sarah walked out into the sun. She felt strong for the first time. John called her later, but she did not answer. She changed her number and moved to a new town. The dark story ended with her free and with a new life growing inside her. But the pain stayed. What would happen if John found out the truth about the baby? Would Lisa tell him? Sarah did not care anymore. She was done with both of them. So now you've heard Sarah's story, a story of love, betrayal, secrets, and a twist no one saw coming. But the real question is, what would you do if you were Sarah and found out at the baby shower? Would you forgive Lisa or fight back like she did? If you were John, would you have told the truth earlier or kept the affair hidden? Do you think Sarah's revenge was too far or just right? And the biggest one is that if your best friend knew your husband and still had a baby with him, what would break your heart more than the affair or the long years of fake friendship? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's talk about it. And if you enjoy deep, emotional stories like this, don't forget to subscribe, because the next story might be even more shocking than this one.